Polokwane, just outside the city, about 25 kilometres outside the city in Limpopo. What are you seeing right now?
Well, Jeremy, at the moment you'll see that the president is arriving. He's expected to step out of the main vehicle and make a few remarks, essentially declare this area a green zone. As you'd know, he declared it a red zone after the 114 people were repatriated from Wuhan in China. And you'll see this is the vehicle that the president is in. Jeremy, we are expecting to hear from him. As soon as he opens the door and comes outside, I'll hand it over to him. We expect these to be brief remarks, and then we'll make our way inside of the Ranch Hotel. Inside, he'll address some of the people that were repatriated, as well as the teams that brought them back from China and the staff of the hotel. There's quite a large media contingent here, so they are trying to take care to enforce social distancing. Is a bit of a problem at this stage, but we do see that there are more people arriving now, Jeremy, as well as the Premier of Limpopo, Mr. Stan Matabata. You'll see him coming into picture now to welcome the President. Here he is then. Let's hand it over to the President and the Premier of Limpopo.
Now will do our traditional way.
The President also being joined by the Health Minister here and being greeted by the MECs from Limpopo.
Yes.
Go this way. Clear this area a green zone, at which point the over 100 repatriees will be taken back to their families. You were telling me earlier special buses have been organized.
Please, social distance, please, as far away from me as possible. Well, thank you very much. Do you want to say something first?
They just want to know what you have been thinking about this.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being here. As you can see, I'm with the Minister of Health, Dr. Mkhize, and Minister Motsoaledi, and Minister Pando, and our Premier here, and our MEC for Health, Dr. Ramaphosa. And we have arrived this morning having been briefed by the Minister of Health and indeed by our military medical service officials. The officials are here, that we are now able to declare the ranch a green zone. It has been a red zone all along, as you know, where we have put our students, the cabin crew of the flight that fetched them, as well as our military medical officers and the crew that flew them here, in quarantine together with the staff that works here. And that meant that this place was declared a red zone. Now we've gone past the 14 days of quarantine, and everybody who is in this facility has been tested and has been found to be negative of coronavirus. And with that, Dr. Mkhize has said we are now able to declare that this is now a green zone, in that nobody in this facility has contracted coronavirus, and that we took good precautions to put our students, the crew, and everybody else who came from China under quarantine to make sure that no coronavirus is ever brought to South Africa from China. So this is now a green zone, and we can go in. We are now going to meet our students and everybody else who is in here in great safety because there is no coronavirus in here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Guys, sorry. No, I just want to double check that there's been an agreement on the numbers and the numbers. We go back.
Yeah.
And then eNCA is 2. Where are they? Daily Madrid is 1. And then minimum understand is 3. Guys, please get your cars, and then we'll show you where to wait once they decide.
You to that?
Hi, Govan. No.
Hi,
Yeah. Sibu, I'll meet them inside. Oh, okay. How are the
So last night, the Health Minister, Dr. Cyril is saying that South Africans had been assured at the time, that's a fortnight ago, that the arrivals from Wuhan had tested negative. At the time, you'll remember, they didn't present any symptoms, but he went on to say that the South African government taking extra precautions and then quarantined them for that 14-day period, which has just ended now. So let's bring reporter Govan Whittles back in. He is outside the Ranch Hotel, the Ranch Resort in Polokwane. A few brief remarks, Govan, again reiterating what the Health Minister said last night, that all had been tested, were negative. Now this area has been declared a green zone. He's driving in with the entourage. What happens then? All right, we'll bring Govan Whittles back in just a moment, but national government a fortnight ago, you'll remember, repatriating 112 citizens from the Chinese city of Wuhan. You'll know that that is where the corona outbreak began at the first place, or in the first place. They were placed in quarantine at this resort that you're seeing on your screen at the moment, around 25 kilometres outside Polokwane. Moments ago, the President, accompanied by the Health Minister and the Home Affairs Minister, arriving at the resort. There you'll see the phalanx of soldiers escorting them in. They will then drive into that complex. They will talk to the cabin crew, to the students and others who have been quarantined, at which point they will be put into buses, and I'm sure a delightful reunion with their families, notwithstanding the fact that they still have to observe the same rules and regulations that we are currently observing.